Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor. Today we are doing an NFL Fantasy Football 2020 mock draft, pre-NFL draft. So this is the last draft I am doing, mock draft, I should say, before the NFL draft. Because, guys, things are going to change. They're going to change right after the NFL draft because depth charts are going to move. We're going to find out which players are drafted, how that's going to affect the current players on the team. Everything changes, guys, okay? Before I get into that, guys, make sure you guys leave a comment below. Let me know, are you guys excited? I want to hear some energy here going into the NFL draft. Guys, football is back. I'm super excited about it. I cannot express to you how excited I am about this. The NFL draft is here, and again, I want to do a mock draft here with you guys today. And I'm telling you guys, I'm also doing a live at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay, guys, 6 p.m. Eastern time, live here on YouTube, doing a full NFL draft preview as well. All right, guys, so make sure you guys are following, turn on the bell, and subscribe, okay? And smash a thumbs up. All right, so NFL mock draft here, fantasy football. Let's do one, again, pre-NFL draft. I'm going to do a PPR. I usually always go 1-point PPR, 12 teams. Now, I'm on the calculator here, fantasy ball calculator. Now, this site's pretty good. I still think it needs an update in regards to kind of the ADPs, the where they sit. But hey, I don't really draft by ADP, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to walk you guys through the first, I would say, let's go 5 to 6 rounds, okay? I'm going to walk you through, and then I'm going to critique the 6 rounds, okay, of the mock draft, give you guys a feel for Fantasy Football 2020. So I'm going to jump in, first overall pick here of this 12-person draft. I think it's going to be a lot of computer, but let me just close this ad. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pick first overall here, and I think it's starting right now. And guys, you know, I'm torn on this. A lot of people debate me, but I like either Henry or Barkley at first overall for Fantasy Football 2020. So I've queued up Saquon Barkley here. Again, I just come on here, have some fun. I think the ADP still needs to be adjusted after the draft. But first overall, clear cut, it's got to be Saquon Barkley here. I'll tell you why. The upside, the ceiling, he still performed top 10 last year based on, he finished top 10 last year, guys, in PPR amongst running backs based on, guys, being, missing 3 games, terrible O-line, and again, pretty much no wide receivers. So again, I love Saquon Barkley here at 1.01. Then we see Christian McCaffrey. You guys listening in the car, I'm going to walk you through it. Christian McCaffrey at 2, Michael Thomas at 3. And I think a lot of people are going to draft Michael Thomas within the first 5 picks, at least the first 8 picks for sure. He's going to go very early, and that's basically because of his last year. That's such a pinnacle year, 185 receptions. That's very high for Michael Thomas, in my opinion. Very high of a year. Alvin Kamara at 4, Zeke Elliott at 5, Hopkins at 6. I'm not drafting Hopkins. New team, new situation, lots of mouths to feed. I'm staying away. Adams at 7, Tyreek Hill, Joe Mixon, Julio Jones, Josh Jacobs, and Nick Chubb to round out the first round. Nick Chubb I'm staying away from. Coming back to my pick here, the 24th pick. Again, I get back-to-back picks. I'm, again, trying to go robust RB. And I can see here, and he's still, let's see if he's there. He's not. David Johnson is there. I'm going to take David Johnson at 2. And then I'm going to come back around. Now I've got Saquon, David Johnson, 2 workhorse. I can go ahead and grab another workhorse here. The only one available here is Chris Carson I like. There's a couple other guys. David Montgomery still I like. Still early for Kareem Hunt. So I'm going to look at wide receivers here real quick. See who the best available wide receiver is. And there's a ton of talent. I'm going to go ahead and grab, there's Galladay, Mike Evans, a little too early, too many mouths to feed. I got 22 seconds here. I'm going to go either Kenny Galladay. I do like the upside of Cooper Kupp this year, but I'm going to grab Kenny Galladay at 3. So first 3 rounds, I've got Saquon, David Johnson, and Kenny Galladay. Again, this is pre-NFL draft, having some fun here, giving you a feel of the rounds in the draft, okay? So I went over the first round. Coming back around, the computer went Leonard Fournette, Derrick Henry. I love Derrick Henry. I can't believe he slipped to the second round. I'm almost confident in taking him first overall. Yes, I am. Because there's only a handful of running backs to get that minimal committee, right? George Kittle, Chris Godwin, Dalvin Cook, who he's going to get injured again this year, Aaron Jones, Travis Kelce, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Melvin Gordon, Miles Sanders, and then it went to me, David Johnson. And then I came back and went Kenny Galladay. Then the computer went Amari Cooper. This is the 3rd round. Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, Allen Robinson, Keenan Allen, Chris Carson, Le'Veon Bell, Adam Thielen, Deebo Samuel, Cortland Sutton, and Calvin Ridley to round out the 3rd round. Now it's come back. All of 4th round has come back to me at the 4th round here. I got 30 seconds, and it's hard to make a pick here because, again, I'm talking and I'm critiquing. But again, let's see what running backs are available. I'm going to go ahead and grab David Montgomery. I feel he'd be a workhorse. because I get back-to-back picks. So I got David Montgomery. Now I've got a three-headed monster at running back. Saquon, David Johnson, David Montgomery. And I could look at a quarterback here in the 5th round. Let's see who's available. A ton of talent here. There's Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. I like Aaron Rodgers as well. I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers. All great options in the 5th round. This is what I mean, guys. I think he's going to throw a lot this year. He's going to get a ton of volume. And guys, get the 16-round draft solution below. First ever and only video training. I give you all the optimal players. Make sure your roster is balanced. And again, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be my only quarterback. I'm going to get a sleeper. I'm going to get a breakout guy to back myself up. I do this every year. This is a year, a couple years ago in 16 rounds, I drafted, I believe it was Matt Ryan, came back, and my backup was Pat Mahomes, okay? So guys, there's a ton of talent at the quarterback position, and you don't need to invest an early first, second round pick on Lamar Jackson. So I want to emphasize that, okay? Now, this draft is going really fast because there's a lot of computers and it's like rapid firing. So I'm going to cap it here at 5, but I want to recap and critique the first 5 rounds, okay? I'm going to let the computer keep doing what it's doing. We're going to ignore it, okay? So, again, first round, you see me go Saquon, and what I did say is Derrick Henry, because, again, guys, he's a workhorse, and he hasn't got that mega contract yet. He has not been incentivized fully, and I still think he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. So I love Derrick Henry at 1.01 or at 2. Now, a lot of people are saying Christian McCaffrey. I totally understand this, guys. Christian McCaffrey is an absolute beast. The problem with Christian McCaffrey is he's coming off a record year. There's a new quarterback, new coaching. They got wide receiver Robbie Anderson there. It's a totally different offense. And they're going to want it, by the way, ignore the pick there. It's all going to auto pick for me, so don't go with what the computer's picking here at 6. But again, Christian McCaffrey, I'm staying away from. Again, decline imminent. Still a top 5 guy for fantasy, but again, expect a decline. Then the computer went Michael Thomas. Again, I still think a lot of people are going to go high on Michael Thomas, predicated on last year's stats. I understand that. Alvin Kamara at 4. I think that's a little early for me. I'd rather take Zeke Elliott. But the problem is with both these guys, they're going to be in a bit of a committee. Zeke Elliott's still getting around 300 attempts a year. I still think that's going to be there. But again, new coaching there. McCarthy, I don't know if I'm sold. I think Pollard's going to come in there and be a bit of a thorn in the side. So that's a bit of a concern with Zeke. And then Kamara, kind of always in a committee, right? You're going to rely on his receptions. So if you're looking at standard, you definitely don't want Kamara in the first 4 picks. He's more of a PPR machine with those 80 receptions that he's almost guaranteed to get. They got Hopkins here at 6. I think that's a little early. Again, new offense, new teams. I've talked about this. Go check my other videos. Davante Adams, I love him kind of as my first wide receiver because I think the ceiling is high. Tyreek Hill, a little early, simply because they're volatile. Now, they are looking at the NFL draft, possibly looking at another wide receiver. They're going to line up a lot of receivers. They got Hardman. They've got Kelsey who catches the ball as well. Be cautious there. Joe Mixon at 9. I'm concerned about Mixon due to the holdout. I'm not going to be drafting him at all this year. Julio Jones at 10. Jacobs, Nick Chubb, very early. Again, Kareem Hunt you can get later. Kareem Hunt outperformed Nick Chubb 6 out of the 8 games they played together in PPR. So Nick Chubb is not a guy to be targeting. People are going to be drafting him. The mainstream sheep are going to tell you to draft Nick Chubb. Guys, stay away. He's too high of a draft pick for a guy that's going to be splitting carries, for a guy that could lose his starting job to Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, the better running back. If you guys don't remember, Kareem Hunt was the rushing leader. He's a full workhorse. He's back. He's at least going to steal half the volume and more than half in PPR, so be careful. Do not draft Nick Chubb. Leonard Fournette, we don't know where he's going to land. There's talk of trade. A little concern there. They went Derrick Henry here, second pick in the second round, 12-person league. A little late for me. Again, I would have gone earlier. Kittle, too early for a tight end. Chris Godwin, Dalvin Cook, I'm staying away from. He's been injured 3 years now, hasn't finished the season. I don't like Dalvin Cook. Also threatening a holdout. Be cautious. Aaron Jones, Travis Kelce, too early for a tight end. Pat Mahomes, I do like him before. Lamar Jackson, still don't like him enough to draft him in the second round. Then they went Lamar, Melvin Gordon, Miles Sanders, David Johnson. That's with me. I like him. I think people are going to sleep on him. He's going to be part of my 3-headed monster, and he's going to be my RB2, RB3 guys, and he's going to have RB1 top 5 potential because he's going to get the volume. The Texans believe in him, and he's going to play angry this season, okay? Kenny Gaulday coming back around. He was the best receiver on the board next to kind of Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper. Mike Evans, I don't like there with Tom Brady. He spreads the ball around. Gronkowski coming back. Too many mouths to feed. Allen Robinson, Keenan Allen, Chris Carson, Le'Veon Bell, Thielen, Debo, Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley. Coming back in the 4th round. Deshaun Watson, DJ Shark, Devin Singletary. I think Devin Singletary and Miles Sanders both are going to be part of a committee. We're going to have to see what happens after the draft. James Conner, Tyler Lockett, Metcalf. Love him this year. 4th round. I wish he could drop a little farther. Eckler, I like him, but I think he's going to be part of a committee, not sold. T.Y. Hilton, Kerryon Johnson, not sold on Kerryon. Mark Ingram, A.J. Brown, David Montgomery. And then I came back in round 5 with Aaron Rodgers. Guys, I can't express to you how excited I am about the first 5 picks here. And again, all 3 running backs are set and slated to be the workhorse running backs on their team. That's one of the reasons I drafted them. And again, if I look at a guy like Kenny Golladay, I like him because, again, he is the wide receiver 1 on his team. Matt Stafford come back healthy. There's going to be a ton of volume there for Kenny Golladay. So I love him. I love Kenny Golladay as my wide receiver 1. And there is a ton of value sleepers you can get later on that could be of huge value for you guys at wide receiver. A ton of depth this year at the wide receiver position. So there you guys have it. 12-person, 1-point PPR mock draft, 12 teams. This was a 15-rounder, but again, guys, I talk about 16 rounds in my 16-round draft solution. I rapid-fired here, got you guys some content here, giving you guys a quick overview pre-NFL draft. This is going to change significantly depending on depth charts, how they unfold. Now, for example, David Montgomery, let's just say, this won't happen, but let's just say the Bears draft, I don't know, Dobbins or Swift or someone like, or Jonathan Taylor. I'm going to stay away from David Montgomery, right? I don't want that committee. So, again, guys, you got to look at the situation. The reason I drafted David Montgomery is because, again, he almost had 1,000 yards. And again, if they improve that O-line, get a better quarterback, whether it be Foles or Mitch Trubisky improves, a ton of upside for David Montgomery, who had 242 attempts. So I like the upside, okay? That's why I got him in the 4th round as my RB3, and he's got RB1 potential. And that's what you got to do. You got to stay away from those committees and make sure you guys target guys that are proven, durable, strong, and they're going to get the volume no matter what position you guys are drafting. There you guys have it, guys. Fantasy Football Mock Draft 2020. Pre-NFL draft, just giving you a general sense of where players are going in the first 5 or 6 rounds. You guys can see it right here. Again, guys, make sure you guys get the 16-round draft solution. It's available now. My first video release on that is going to be about a couple days after the draft. Excited to get you guys that content in there to help you guys crush your fantasy football leagues. Make sure you guys are subscribed to this #1 fantasy football podcast, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out.